gonna record a bit of this project for you. Thank you for your questions. Part of learning to do cost accounting or anything in business is also learning to ask questions. So your boss gives you something like this that's totally foreign to you. And you look it over and you do your best to figure it out and familiarize yourself with it, but you have to go back and find some help. This is good. So the project is posted here. And the first thing I would do would be familiarize myself with what's going on here. Cost, volume, profit modeling project. And it's to create a multi-product profitability analysis used to determine effects of changing business conditions, okay, on the financial position. The goal is to use Excel and make sure that you can, what it's saying here is we're going to have assumptions, and when we change the assumptions, it should recalculate the entire profitability analysis and should be accurate. Because I've seen spreadsheets that recalculate, they look great, but the answer actually isn't right. So Jake is going to sell pet supplies at trade shows, 2 products, Launch It and Treat Time. I think we have both of these. Here's the costs. He hired an employee, smart. You don't want to just own your own job when you start a business. He's paying the employee $1,000 per month plus a commission, $500 per month on trade show fees. He's buying you can read all that. There's his expected sales, 200 Launch It's, 100 Treat Times, and he wants to earn $8,000 per month. He thinks his growth rate will be 5% per month. Okay, and then I've attached the Excel spreadsheet from the problem author. So let's pull that up. And this first tab says Business and Directions. The business part here, this is the project. And then over here are some formatting. And I'm not so worried about the formatting. As we go through, I'll tell you how I think things should be formatting. Answers are always going to be more important. Let's take a look at, see, I don't know what this is, come back to it, grading rubric. Don't worry about that right now. Let's just try and get the format right. So if we take a look at this thing, I know you want to see me, so I'll put this a little shorter. All right, if we take a look at this thing, there's a box for the assumptions. And by the way, this is the first time I've seen this as well. I like to have fresh problems every term because it keeps me sharp, and then I get to go through it the way you do. So here's the assumptions. These will be the things that you can change that will ripple through the rest of this spreadsheet and give you the answers you're looking for. Okay, like weighted average contribution margin. And so the first thing I would do is fill in the known quantities, which we've been given over here. We'll have to flip-flop between these. If you have 2 screens, you're in good shape. Let's see, what do they want first? Sales price per unit. Launch It sells for $10. And Treat Time sells for $30. It's right there. Okay. Variable costs per unit. Let's see. Where are the variable costs? There's a 10% commission. This is a fixed cost. This is a fixed cost. Launch It's cost, the actual product cost is $1. That's a variable cost. Shipping and handling, $2. That's a variable cost. What else we got here? That's it. Those are all the costs. Okay. So let me see here. The first thing I want is to put in is the commission. The commission, which is 10% of sales price per unit. Now, this is kind of bugging me. How have they got this formatted? Left, align text left. line text bottom. I just want to change this real quick. Numbers should be aligned to the right. And if it's a sales price per unit, I guess I could center that. If it's sales price per unit, it should be in currency. I don't want to see a sales price without a dollar sign on it, because my eye, I don't want to look over here and see price and go, oh, that's dollars. If I don't see dollars on it, I'm probably going to assume it's units. The commission is 10% of revenue. So for every launch it you sell, 10% of it goes to the salesperson. What the author didn't put in here, though, I'm going to add a column. I'm going to insert a column by right-clicking on the top of the column and just insert, because I want a place for the rate. Commission, this will be good. I'm going to put the 10% in here. Now that's going to be 0.10, just 0.1 would work. And we're going to format it as a percent, 10%. This is going to be a formula. You start your formulas with an equal sign, and then you take the sales price per unit times the commission rate, and that should give you the commission of $1, which it does. Okay. So this number, and the problem, they don't ask you to do this, but if I change commission rates, it will change the commission, which will change the variable cost, which will change the contribution margin, which will ripple through all of this. All right. The second variable cost per unit was the actual cost of the thing, which was $1. I just want to, product cost. $1. Format it. And the last one was the shipping cost. Which was $2 for the launch. I've just covered myself up here. $2. Shipping costs, format it for a $sign. Where are you? Your Excel may look slightly different than this, but all the functionality will be there. Total variable cost per unit. Here I'm going to use this sigma, which is the Greek symbol for sum, and I'll sum those up, enter, and then I'm going to be a good accountant and put top border and a double bottom border on that. And then this, now I'm just going to cheat here. You can rebuild this whole thing for this lower part, but I'm going to cheat just a little bit and take all of this. I'm going to go Alt-C because I'm on a Mac, but if you're on a PC, the hotkey for copy is Control-C. I'm going to copy that down. Now see how this changed because it's based on that, and these numbers have to change because these numbers are 7 and 8. Product cost $7, shipping cost $8, total cost of $18. Wow, that seems really high. Is my math good? Treat times are $7 plus $8 in shipping, $3 commission. Okay. I think they've given us some check figures. In real life, you don't have check figures. Monthly volume for each of them. I see, that makes more sense. 200 launches. I think it was 100 treat times. I keep hiding my face behind the, it's not like you need to see me. Fixed cost per month. Okay, fixed cost per month. What did we have? The employee at 1,000 and entry fees at 500. Employee salary and trade show trade show fees, whatever you want to call it. The employee, we're paying him $1,000 a month fixed, $500 for the trade show. This is currency. And total fixed costs, use the summation. Make sure it grabs the right numbers. And double underline. Target profit per month, $8,000. I remember that. I could look back, but I'm pretty sure it was 8,000. Expected change in volume, 0.05. And format that as a percent. All right, and there are all of my assumptions. A lot of times with percentages, I format them to have a few more decimal places. Maybe not with a commission, because commissions are usually, if you get those hashtags, it just means the column's too narrow. Usually commissions are like 5% or just some whole number, but it's possible you get a 10.5%.